Morning, autumn's arrived. This is day one, and what we're going to do with this pond, we're just going to fit our ecosystem filtration to it, redesign it a bit and put some rocks around the top edge. We're not going to fully rock it in. This is more of a budget option.
Lovely newt we found.
Just taking some laser readings to see where our levels are. Customers often say to me, oh, I've got an existing pond, the hole was already dug, so surely that's going to make it cheaper, surely that's an easier job. It is definitely not cheaper just because the hole was already dug.
Right, so it's the end of day one, guys. We have, as you can see, Benjamin with the digger has dug the hole for the aqua blocks and pump vault very well. Also done a lot of the edging, a lot of shelves, etc. So yeah, end of day one. See you guys tomorrow.
Yeah, hi everyone, it's the start of day two. A lot of soil work to do here, strengthening, shaping. When we took the old pond out, it was a lot of concrete and it yanked all the soil out with it, so we're having to kind of by hand gradually redig it to an attractive and solid shape. So that's where we are. How are you, Con, all right? He's just doing the filter box area. It's spitting a lot. Yeah, I don't really want to get hit in the eye.
How's it going, Dad?
Okay. Yeah, great. Oh my God.
Right, ready? I'm going to pull this up. Can you jump in the now?
So the rocking in has commenced. Doing the one side over here. Got the pipe there as well, and so we're working on it. And yeah, got a nice gravel bed there, aka planting area. Lovely stuff. So guys, it's the end of day two, little progress shot. Got a nice bit of rocking in done over there. Obviously had to put the gazebo up because it started raining quite heavily, but yeah, end of day two.
Hi everyone, started day three. Getting more rocks in place and just draining the pond down. A lot of rain overnight. All dumping, hold it up. Lovely. So Con's just constructing our Stay Clean pump vault. We've got the hose inlet there at the top, and underneath here, he is going to make another slit for the water inlet down the bottom.
We're halfway through day three. Getting loads of underlaying, as you can see.
This will be the intake bay.
That's the intake bay there, obviously underneath the underlay.
Get all the gravel out endlessly. Not going in. Morning everyone, start of day 4. Just looking at everything after a long weekend of rain and deciding what decisions we're going to make, where we're going to put the rocks, what the shape needs to be, keeping in mind all the time the height of the water that we want to make this thing work, to make the ecosystem work, because it's really important with an ecosystem pond that you get a good suck across the top of the water into the skim bay or the intake bay. So yeah, lots of water here. Not sure whether to keep this rainwater or not. It might stop us working, might not. We'll see how that goes. And looks quite, weather looks alright. Just don't think it's going to rain today, so that's good. Hi everyone, I'm just making sure this water that's coming into the intake bay, if we have a really hot spell, we've got to think about this water level dropping. We don't want it to drop it so far that the water can't get from the pond into the intake bay. So we're always making sure our entrances into the intake bay have got a good sort of at least 7 centimetres of clearance to allow for evaporation if the clients were to go away for a week or two. And we've also got other areas behind me you can't see where there's an even lower point just in case the clients are away, and we want to make sure the water can always get through. What's going on, Ben?
I'm just stirring up the sediment and then we're going to drain it all out, make the water nice and clear.
Slowly getting there with the rocking in. I'm building up the height to the correct level. Just off to the rock yard to go and get ever more rocks.
Lovely bit of foaming in.
Hi, we're just you can use bricks and things to infill behind rocks as long as you protect every single part of the liner every time, all the way round, any rough, sharp, hard area. And then what we do with the foaming in is you don't necessarily foam every part of a rock. You just foam sort of strategic areas like this and a strategic point like that. What happens is the foam expands and all these rocks are pushing against one another, so you get an absolutely solid seal. Yeah, it's methodical, slow, but you don't rush this part.
End of day 5, a few shots. Be done in a day or two. Good progress today, overall. Yeah, lovely.
Falling down the seats. Okay, we are day 6, about 80% rocked in, and we're first time we're turning on the pump. So hopefully you can see in the distance. The client didn't particularly want a waterfall, but we've given her a little cascade, and we're going to start to see the water come into the intake bay hopefully here. Oh, in it comes, all the leaves and the feathers. That's exactly what we want. Really liking the shape of this one.
Should have probably said this. See, we didn't include a waterfall in the payment, but I decided to do one.
No, but
this is a bonus.
No, but it was understandable what I said.
Was it?
That's fine.
So it's the end of another week, in the day 6. Got a lot of the edge work done, as you can see. Really coming together now. Yeah.
Hi, just going to talk about edging now. This is one of the areas that we see a lot of mistakes made by DIYers and also other pond builders, to be frank, whereby they just sort of lay the liner flat like this and put rocks and stones on it, but that's what will happen is muddy water is going to get into the pond. Plus, over time, if this goes down this line, you're going to get a edge leak. That's a very common thing we see. So essentially what needs to happen is the liner, we tuck the overlay, which is protecting the liner. We always tuck that down first, okay, because it's a nice solid area to work from, and also it stops too much evaporation. And then we make a nice neat fold behind the rocks. I'm making this one look easy because I specifically got this one ready. A lot of them are very awkward. You have to watch for things like this void here. What will happen if you try to fold up against that, the liner will drop and gradually fall down, and again you'll get a leak. So with any kind of void inside the liner, you want to be building it up with pebbles and foam, that sort of thing. So a common error we see is, even when the liner has been folded behind rocks, what the homeowner's done is list an area where the fold doesn't quite work, and you'll get a little leak coming from a fold, a part of the fold, which is basically too low down. So the whole way around we want this fold all the way around the pond at the same height. Okay? So, quite often you've got way too much liner or not enough, and it's not a simple matter of just cutting it away, always. So what you want to do is gather your fold like that. Again, I've chosen a nice easy bit to make this look easy. And you always want this upright, okay? See this fold here? So it's all at the same height. Very often what we see is this kind of weird thing going on. Somebody's folded it like that, and you can see that's like a water spout where water's going to leak out. So everything has to be vertical, everything the same height. And then we come in with lots of soil behind, and we compact it very, very hard. So we don't want any of this area ever to move. We don't want someone to step on this liner and it to move. So we're bringing up our soil there. We're quite often foaming inside as well, to make it nice and solid, keep everything good. Okay. Okay, and at the right time we're coming in with good soil, and we're compacting this all very, very hard. I'll do it with my feet in a minute and a tamper. We don't want this ever to move. And then what we'll do is we'll have the soil below the level of this edge liner, okay? Because otherwise, every time it rains, you're going to get soil runoff. And then we come in with our nice black foam, expensive stuff. And we're going to finish off. This one's a bit empty, I'm afraid. With the black foam. Locking everything into place. And then what we're doing is a waterproof barrier just behind the liner here. Oops, doesn't matter if a bit goes astray, that's not a problem. I usually use a gun, but I bought this stuff without a gun because there wasn't any gun stuff available. We can come in through here, waterproof everything. We don't want garden runoff water running into our lovely pond. Okay, which is a key thing that builders and landscapers always don't do. They don't even know about it. Even a lot of pond builders don't seem to do this. Okay, so we're making it solid, but we can't just leave foam like that. And sometimes we burn the foam 24 hours later. I made the mistake once of trying to burn it after an hour. Whole thing caught light. Sometimes we burn the foam and we can make it look like rock by doing that. Other times, when we're doing edge work, what we're looking for is it to look as natural as possible. Now, I've just picked up any old cobble because I'm making this film, probably wouldn't use this one. But I'll sort of slide this into here. Quite often we'll foam these all in as well to make sure they won't move. And then we'll come in with some gravel. Normally once the foam's gone off a bit, otherwise it sinks like that. But again, I'm doing a bit of filming, so it's just to show you. And then we'll come in with a bit of soil behind. Again, we might foam that in. It's painstaking work, edging. It takes a lot of time. It's often the most neglected bit we see. And then we'll come in with some moss. Whenever we're at a property, we look for moss, bits of bark, things like that. And people say, oh, will it die? It doesn't really matter if it does die. Some of it will live, some of it will die. But if it does die, it'll still naturalise the look of the foam. Maybe put some bark in there, a bit more soil up here. And you get the idea. You gradually start to naturalise everything. And then some nice gravel. What you don't want to do is just pour gravel everywhere. Because, yes, that's a quick way to do it, but it'll look rubbish. It'll look like some sort of industrial area, car park, quarry pit. It just won't look natural at all, just surrounding a pond with gravel. Kind of look like a necklace, actually, just splattered in, you know, landed on this lawn. So, that gives you a bit of an idea into our edge work. At some point, we'll make a low edge deliberately as our overflow, so that when you get heavy rain, the water's got somewhere to go away from the pond. Yeah, just showing you how we set the rocks outside the pond. Once we compacted the soil, made it good, we then use a layer of gravel, then the underlay. Then we foam and stick the whole rock down, and then we'll surround that with some more gravel and soil. Here's some finished ones over here. These external rocks here. Now, for all you old school guys saying, oh, it should be concrete here, you've got to use concrete. Number one, biggest problem with that is that adds too much cost to a pond, and the vast majority of people, you know, it doesn't need to be set like a patio outside rocks. And don't forget, rocks are pretty heavy and difficult to move anyway, especially in some of our projects when they're very big rocks. So you don't need concrete at all.
Nearly at the end of day 7, nearly finished the project. Be done in a few hours. Get one shot.